Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. This video is about very interesting topic in Revit, which is graphics. We're going to talk about different things: graphic display options, line work options, detail line, elements graphics, and visibility and graphics of the project. In most of the cases, you'll need to present your diagrams or create more interesting graphics and do some edits so you get a better presentation, let's say. So let's start with the graphics display options. Now here I have a conceptual mass and I want to make it more interesting, add shadows and so on. First I can turn the shadows on here, but there's actually more options in Revit which I can use to make it look much more better. Let's go to this visual style. Of course you already know that you can select multiple visualization options: realistic, shaded, consistent, and so on. But for this I'll go to the graphic display options, which allow me to do a lot of stuff. Okay, now the first thing I want to talk about is the ambient shadows. Let's try it out. Of course we already turned the shadows on, but we'll try also to add these ambient shadows. As you can see, it looks nicer. We can even control the lighting of the project. We can make this higher or lower. Let's add a little of ambient light, for example. You can control how dark your shadows will be, either like this or darker. And let's make it something like this, or maybe a little bit more. Okay, that's good. Another interesting thing, okay, we talked about, now we're still in the display options. We have a lot of options. We have the shadows, we have the lighting, and we have here something interesting, which is the silhouettes option. You can, let's try it out. Let's select the wide lines, for example, and let's apply it or say okay. Here you don't see a very clear result, but let's try to change the scale, and as you can see, let's zoom in a little bit. You will see a nice outline for this conceptual mass here. And if you want to control it manually, you can do this, but let's finish with the graphic display options first. You can select whatever type of line you prefer. Let's say you want like overhead, for example. Okay, and as you can see, you'll get these lines. Let's keep it with wide lines and say okay. Okay, that's one thing you can do, and of course there's a lot more options that you can control and play with until you get a good result. And this is for the style of view, as we said, it's the same as these. Okay, so the second thing we'll talk about is the line work options, and you can find it in modify here, and you'll find it here. This option has the same idea of changing the thickness of lines and types of lines around the masses or elements that you have in your model. Let's return these back to the normal lines from here, as we did it before. Let's make it thin lines for now. Okay, and let's say I want to make it manually and choose what I want it to be bold and what I want to leave it thin lines. You can do so, or it's good for it's good because you can control the size of the white lines. You can make them thicker or thinner. let's say we want to stay in the 1 to 100 scale, but still we want these lines to be thicker. So we can create new line. We have this wide lines and their thickness, but we can actually create our own lines. Just go to manage, then additional settings, then go to then go to line styles, and I actually have where's our new line style? Where's it? Make it 13. Let's try this. Oh no, that's very bold. So maybe something like 8. Okay, that's fine. Let's go to this line work and add our lines here, for instance, and here. And if you want, you can even move your line. Right, I'll do it again. Line work, hold, select this line and move it here, and that's fine. Even this one. And you can continue doing this until you're satisfied with the view. One more thing with the line work, which is very interesting, is that you can even hide lines that you don't want it to be visible. And you can do so by going to the line style and finding the invisible line option. Here, as you can see, I added floors, and it's like 2 floors, but I don't want to this line to appear on the outside. So I can just select the invisible line and click on the lines that I want to hide, and they're hidden. Okay. Now we talked about the line work option. Let's talk about the detail line. The detail line, let's say we want to work on this elevation. Okay. Of course, the graphic settings that we did it only for that view, so it's not there. No problem. Now, the thing I want to talk about is the detail line option. Sometimes you want to add something that's not there in the elevations. Let's zoom in a little bit. Okay, let's say that you want to add line, something that's not visible, but you want to demonstrate it in the elevation. You can use, if you want to draw a line, you will not be able to draw a line unless you pick a plane. And actually, you don't want to add this line to all the views. You just need to add it graphically to this view only. So the option for that is the detail line option, which has the shortcut DL. The detail line option allows you to add lines the way you want. Let's say like this. Okay, and you can even select what type of line you want, like this, for example. Okay, you can even hide lines, use the invisible lines if you wish. As you can see, I'm hiding lines. Okay, so the fourth thing is elements graphics in the material settings. Now here I created these walls, and I want to show you the idea of this graphic in materials. I will of course, this is one type of wall, which is the basic wall, generic, this one. Okay, I will go to the edit type, go to the structure, it's the same place where you change the material, but you don't want to go to appearance and you don't want to render the appearance. You don't want the real material to show, but you want it to have like a certain color or a certain pattern. Let's select, for example, the yellow one. Okay, and say okay. Of course, because we're in the hidden lines, it won't show. You can see this effect by choosing shaded or consistent colors. I'll choose consistent colors, and as you can see the color now. Let's say I want to change the type of wall for this. Okay, I want it to be this one, and now let's say I want to give this another color. I do the same thing. I go to the material settings, but it's very important to notice that you can't just change this from the same material. You have to create a new material, because if you change this, although it's different type of wall, but the material name is the same, so it will be applied to both of the models. Okay, so either you choose another material or you duplicate and give it another name. Okay, let's name it 2. No. 2, and choose another color. And as you can see, it changed. The color it changed. Okay, one more thing you can do is editing the pattern. If you want to give a surface pattern, you can even create a specific cut pattern and color. All of these options. Let's say we want gray, for example, or black, for example. Let's make it black so it's more visible, and we want this pattern. As you can see, it's applied. We have the color, but we have also a pattern on the surface. And that's it for this elements and graphics thing. The fifth thing which is related to graphics in Revit is visibility and graphics. Visibility and graphics controls the graphics of the whole project. So you can choose, you can find all the elements. I will show you now. The shortcut is VG. Okay, and as you can see, you have many categories, and you can control their graphics. Okay, now because I have walls, I'll show you if I want to change the graphics of all of the walls. Yeah, it's important to keep in mind that if you change the graphics of the walls from here, all of the walls in your project will change. So if you want to do this, you can control it from here. If you don't, then do the previous step where you can change the graphics from the materials options. Let's try this. Now the surface, we can give it a pattern and color. Let's say we want only a color without a pattern, so you can select the solid fill. Okay, let's say different color, the gray, for example. Okay. And as you can see, it's applied, although I have these options inside the elements material, but because I applied it from the visibility and graphics option, which controls all the walls, it forces it to have this color. That's it for this video. I hope you learned something new. Tell me what you think in the comments, and thank you for watching.